And welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of 302 Sports Weekly. We're live on location down here at the Middletown Buffalo Wild Wings location. So thanks to them to opening their doors to us here. And Nick Alessandrini, my co-host, sitting next to me. Guess what day it is?
Oh, Pat, what day is it?
Hump Day! Had to bring that one back, man. It's a big, happy hump day. We're ready to rock and roll, man.
Especially since we were off last week. You
Yep.
guys had the doubleheader at Frawley Stadium.
Yep.
Now we're back here ready to get another great show in. And also, Pat, we're joined once again by Jason Winchell. Jason, the guru, how you doing? Mike is not here, however.
Yeah.
He's mid-travel on the way to the University of South Carolina for graduation. So congrats to Mike Lang's daughter. And Mike, who's got an 11-hour car ride ahead of him, huh, Jason?
Yeah, that's gonna be
He's got the show on, though.
a fun ride, but he gets to go with his wife and the dog, so
It'll
he's
be fun.
happy.
She'll be fun. But tonight again, we're joined Jason. Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing good. This is a great location.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice in here. We got our own room to us. It's feeling a little natural. You don't have to hear with that background noise, so you should hear us all pretty clear tonight. But overall, it should be a great show. We remember we're giving out some 302 Sports promotional products, and we're giving one lucky 302 Sports fan a Buffalo Wild Wings gift card. All you have to do is let your waiter or waitress know that you're here to see the show. You can't, or you don't want to miss that. It's a great opportunity, so come check us out.
Absolutely, and tonight we got ourselves a great guest, Nick. The undefeated Appoquinimink 15-0 Appoquinimink baseball team will be joining us here shortly, and I know that I can't wait for that. That is for sure. It's going to be a good interview for sure to talk to those guys and learn a little bit about how they've been so successful. But before we get to that, we're going to have to start the show, unfortunately, on a somber note, as one of the athletes in our 302 community has been hit by some hard times. Troy Haynes, senior at Woodbridge High School. He's got graduation right around the corner. In addition, he's being a highly respected student. He's also a highly respected athlete that many of you know. Not only with his football play as a quarterback, he was a 4-year starter, an all-state player, blue gold all-star game selection, and a 2-time state champion. Troy committed in December to continue his academic and athletic career at Division III powerhouse Mount Union. Troy's loved by many, especially his family, coaches, and teachers. Unfortunately, on April 26th, Troy was diagnosed with kidney cancer, and he is currently scheduled for surgery on May 10th. So we want to take this time to let everyone know that there's a GoFundMe page that they started for him, as you'll see on our screen now. It's on our Facebook page as well. If you can, please go on there and help support him and his family in their time of need. We also want to give Troy our best on Friday as well. He's actually was our first interview when we started doing the live streams and whatnot, and really started focusing on highlighting the 302 high school sports community. So he's always had a place special, near and dear with us here at 302 Sports, and we just want to give our condolences to him, his family, and his community. So Troy, we're here for you, man. We're here for you, and we're definitely going to keep doing this and fight like four. That's the mantra that's kind of come out of this situation, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So once again, best of luck to Troy on Friday. Now we're going to step aside. We're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we'll meet the Appoquinimink baseball team.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate.
And welcome back to 302 Sports, now at the Middletown location for tonight's show. But before we get to the Appoquinimink baseball team, which we have special guests Mike Torres, John Jones, Joey Davis, Crew Bolden, and Gabriel McDermott. But before that, Pat, we have a little recap from some of our action last Wednesday.
Yeah, sorry about it. Misspoke. That got a little too ahead of myself with Appo coming on. But yeah, it was a great day last Wednesday. Jason, you were down there with us. Doubleheader of baseball in our game of the week, Sally's versus St. Mark's, second time in as many weeks.
A week, 7 days.
So, and this game, it started off, very pitcher's duely, and it got exciting towards the end. And right now, we'll get to the recap. So, this game had a good one. Matt Phillips starting for St. Mark's, senior Reese Bolton starting for the Salesianum, the crafty left-hander, senior. And as you can see here, we're starting this thing off. Fast forward to the fifth inning here as Bolton will walk Matt Phillips here to get this inning underway. And this is important because the very next batter, Matt Cinco, lifts one deep into left field and out of there into the bullpen in left field for the home run. The two-run shot gave St. Mark's the lead early, and he was not Reese Hoskins around the bases. He was pumped up to get around and touch the plate there.
Winning is always in play. You saw him go off that Delaware Park sign.
Absolutely, as that was it. But Bolton would bounce back after letting two more runners get on base. He does get the strikeout to end the inning with the 2-0 lead for St. Mark's. As we head to the bottom of the inning here, Mr. Dunyan here, putting this one in the gap. And watch him run, And during the broadcast, I'm like, it's a little flare shot to left field. Little did I know that thing had some speed on it. Gets out into that gap, and Dunyan on the horses ends up at third base. After this, you're going to see a Joe Setting walk here, puts runners on first and third, and Alex Hinton comes to the plate after that. Matt Phillips was going to kick, deliver. Hinton grounds at the second base. A tough hop for Colmery, and that will allow the run to score. However, Setting's pinch runner at the time with the heads-up base run and goes first to third on that and gets under the tag somehow. So the very next batter is Pacheco. He gets hit by the pitch. Bases are now loaded, and Matt Phillips here thinks he paints the corner and cannot believe the call. That was a full count, and it walked in the tying run. Matt Phillips not happy at all there. And now the very next batter is going to be they walk the go-ahead run in right here. You can see Ben Anderson throwing out Pacheco at third base. He crawled a little too far down the line, and St. Mark's gets out without further damage. We're now in the sixth inning, and Hinton now in the game. Ragazzo finishes off the 1-2-3 inning there with the throw over as they throw out Pasorchik. Now bottom of the sixth. You can see the bunt put in play here by Dylan Reese. J.J. Pazinska throws out of first, but look at the heads-up base running by Ragazzo. Going first to third, the errant throw will allow him to score on the sacrifice bunt, Nick. You don't see that very often, and the Sows grab themselves an insurance run there. Still 4-2, and this one in the bottom of the inning, it's single right by Matt Cinco, top of the seventh. The St. Mark's will try and answer. They get the lead off single, so the inning started off the way they want. The very next batter here is Colmery, and he's going to draw the walk, and now there's first and second with nobody out, and St. Mark's could see themselves through it. J.J. Pazinska at the plate looking for the sack bunt, pulls it away. Look at this throw by Joe Setting. Are you kidding me? From the knees. Getting a little Pudge Rodriguez on there.
In the game too there, Pat, absolutely.
Costly mistake there by Cinco, as there is the called third strike on Pazinska to get the out. Now Matt Phillips will come to the plate. He'll poke a single here down the line, and it'll be first and third, 4-2 game. There will be two outs. And now Eric Ludman will come to the plate. He had struggled in this game up until this point. It's power on power with Hinton at the dish, and look at the kick save right there. Gets the glove down there and throws him out to end the game. And while that play was impressive there by Alex Hinton, there's one that we purposefully kept out of the highlight because we want you to see it for the first time a little later on in the show in top plays. So keep an eye out for that one. But the Sows get their second victory over St. Mark's within the week, 4-2 to final, Jay.
Yeah, and what a great game. Like we said, pitchers a little early. St. Mark's on the board, but Sally's came back, and that heads-up play in the 6th inning to add that insurance run, noticing that no one was covering third on the bunt, and he was going to race the catcher. And he knows I can beat that catcher to third base. And he forces an errant throw and is able to score on the play. And that insurance run, I know St. Mark's did not score in the 7th, but they put people on base. So having that other insurance run helped him out when he got into the jam in the 7th inning.
Absolutely. It changed the mindset, right? It's a little less pressure when you know you got that runner on third base. Doesn't mean anything. You're exactly right, Jane. The heads-up play by Ragazzo to notice that and go first to third. Not too many ball players are doing that. So
Right.
that was a very headsy play. But all in all, it was really entertaining game, Nick. And
Sally's
what
is
else
now
do you
12-2.
And I'll say we'll talk
Sally's
about
is
it a little bit
12-2.
more later, but they've
yeah.
beaten St. Mark's twice now,
Twice in
right?
a year normally does not happen.
Yep. So again, we'll get a little bit into the specificity of that a little bit later on. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's that moment you've been waiting for. We're going to have Appo on here with us. Give us a few minutes. And Abaquinimik coming up next year on 302 Sports.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvement's pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust. Life's too short.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley, cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lowest, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image.
Judge that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to 302 Sports Weekly, live here at the Buffalo Wild Wings in the Middletown location. We are now happy to be joined by the undefeated Apaquinimik baseball team. led here by Coach Mike Torres and players Alex Jones, Joey Davis, Crew Bolden, and Gabriel Dermott. Guys, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
And doing well, man. So you guys got a go-to Buffalo Wild Wings meal that you go with here?
No, not really.
Yeah.
None of you guys, nobody's big.
Yeah, honey barbecue.
Honey barbecue. Okay, so you got
I'm a big Parmesan garlic guy.
Okay, so I like that. See,
Thinking
knows exactly what
outside the box, Nick. It's outside the box. But Coach, let's get this thing started off here. First year as a head coach. And Appo has been a strong baseball program. Obviously, you played it at crosstown rival Middletown. So was there a little bit of added pressure being the local guy coming in, obviously first-year head coach?
I wouldn't say there was added pressure. It's more so being from here, playing in this town.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so like an expectation of sports being like at a high praise. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So being able to give these guys what I have to offer and seeing them adapt to has been great. It's been great. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. Now over to the players here. You guys, all seniors, played a very successful year last year, but coming into to this year, obviously getting a new coach, was there any concern out of you guys? What were your guys' thoughts coming into your, knowing it was your senior year and you're getting a new coach in your final year?
Yeah, at the start there definitely was. Coach Torres got put in a real tough spot. Coming in 2 weeks before the start of the season, not knowing any one of us, he was put in a really difficult spot. But we knew that we had a good group of guys already set, that we would always be able to help Coach Torres if there's anything he needed, and we would try to just help him adapt as quickly as he could, get going.
Absolutely. And Coach, what are some of the key coaching points that you brought in this year? What are some of the main things that you brought along in year one or that you've tried to establish with the program?
Just be in that family atmosphere. And it actually worked out well because they were already adapted to that. Being able to play for each other and stuff like that, and have each other's backs and stuff like that. That was just a huge point of mine. And I made it a huge point to lean on these seniors, and that's why I wanted them here with me today. It was that to me seemed like the smoothest transition to have these guys, you know what I mean, buy into what I'm talking about, and then making sure that they kind of take the rest of the team by the horns and roll from there.
Absolutely. Now, players, kind of the same question here. Just from your perspective, what has Coach Torres brought to the group or to the team new this year that has kind of had a big impact on you guys? Do you anything specific or anything that he brought to the team?
Coach Torres this year, he came in. There hasn't been a huge change. It's still kind of a lot of the same values and all that. There's kind of a different atmosphere though. It's a lot more laid back, and we're more loose and kind of get to, I feel like we've bonded a little more as a team under Torres, just because of a different strategy of coaching and all that. So,
and Coach, it's obviously been working off. You guys are 15-0. You just came off a 2-0 win over St. George's yesterday. What's most impressive about this, you guys are 5-0 against 302 Sports top 10 teams, including Conrad, St. Mark's, Sally's, and then last year's champ in Cape Henlopen. What are some of the key factors to your team's success this year, and obviously undefeated, like we said?
One thing that we've talked about from the very beginning is taking each game one at a time, and then piggybacking on that, we have sort of a motto of win the week. So we've broken the season down to mini seasons, and I tell the guys at the beginning of each week, let's take two, let's take one, however many games we have that week. That's just been a huge thing for us, and I think that having them focus on one game at a time, 1 week at a time, has really helped them and helped us as a program.
And now, to piggyback off Pat once again, for you guys, is there anything specific that you guys could talk about to give you guys talk about your success, or any reasons for your success this year? Anything that Coach done different, or anything specific during practice or anything like that?
Yeah, like Coach said, we just take each week 0-0. We go 0-0 every week. We try to win the week, and we definitely take what he takes in practice. We try to execute in the games. That's why we're so successful right now.
Absolutely. And you guys are coming down the stretch. You guys have DMA, Hodson, and Woodbridge really to wrap up the year. Coach, each game poses their own individual challenges, and you guys have momentum right now. But what do you have to do in those final 3 games to keep the focus going? Obviously now being 15-0, that's obviously the elephant in the room with you guys, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I mean, I think what you said as far as challenge, absolutely. I think each of these teams poses a different challenge for us. And I've just been preaching this, and my assistants as well, to the team that we need to just stay even keel. Keep doing what we've been doing. We were kind of out of our game a little bit yesterday as far as, we didn't strike out as much as you would think we would have in a game like that. It's just we're hitting a lot of balls right at people and stuff like that. But I keep telling these guys, stay even keel, they're going to fall, and we'll be okay.
And now, players, after last year, pretty successful season. We talked about it a little bit already. What were kind of your goals coming into this year, and have they changed at all if during the season? Just talk a little bit about your goals coming into this season.
I'll take it. Our main goal, obviously, win a state championship. That's number one coming into the season. There was a bunch of smaller goals that we had kind of as a group, win Flight A. Nobody really knew that we were going to be undefeated going this far. But definitely we had the talent to do it, and we capitalized on it. So I'd say that right now we've met a lot of the expectations for this year, but we haven't completed our main goal yet. So there's still that. Just got to stay even keeled and focused.
Absolutely. And Coach, obviously you guys have had the tough schedule. You've been battle tested so far this year. How important is that to play against some of the best teams in the state, especially as tournament time is starting to approach?
I think it's huge for us. It shows us where we are as a program, that we can compete with these teams and ultimately win those games. So it does a lot for them as individuals. Is okay. Well, we can hang with the Sallies and all the good teams that you guys have already named. They're all great teams. So being able to be in that conversation is just huge for us.
Yeah, and before we let you guys go here, again, thanks for joining us, but I'm not sure if you guys have done this yet already this year. I don't know if you guys have walk-up songs, but if you were to have a walk-up song, what would the song be? And Coach, you too. Yeah, we'll start, Coach. We'll start with you, actually. Coach Torres, we'll start with Coach. Hold on. Start with
Gabe.
All right, Gabe, we'll start with you.
I got
All right, if I had to have a walk-up song, which I'm hoping that at some point we will have walk-up songs, it would have to be 6 Man by Drake.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
You're not getting out of it.
That's a tough question.
It's just got to be one, only one.
Come
on. I know you jammed on something on the way over.
I don't know. You put me on a spot.
Yeah, this one wasn't in the notes we said.
Hey, look, I'll tell you, Crew likes country music, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, it's 94.7.
Yeah. He's a country guy for sure. I'd say he's a country guy.
Little
I think these two individuals would be rap for sure.
All right, mine would probably be Little Baby, My Drip.
All right. Okay. Little drip. Little drip, drip. Yeah, well, you got a little Old Town Road remix.
Yeah.
I'd have to probably.
Juicy, you know what I mean? Yeah, I like that.
All right, then I'll say.
The outfield, what? Let's go here.
Probably Splashwater, Meek Mill.
All right.
All right. A little meat. I can get that little meat.
Yeah.
Hey, Kobe,
Probably some Spanish. When I was in college, I walked out to something Spanish. It was just, it was cool. It was cool. Suavemente or something like that.
Yeah, man. You got to keep it. You got to switch it up.
You don't have one at all?
Not any? He's got nothing.
It's like a playlist or anything? Like a
Walks up and
Pandora
nothing. It's all
station?
business. It's all business.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to be, and that's how
All
you guys are
business, all
undefeated. That's
business.
why
You
they're
woke up
15-0.
to
It's all
silence.
business.
Yeah.
Again, a special thanks to Abbott Quinnipiac for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
No problem. And we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll dive into some other sports here on 302 Sports Weekly.
You guys thought you were getting away with it.
It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Couldn't be more excited about having our show here held at the Buffalo Wild Wings and Christiana location, and here on Route 7, brand new location. They moved here from Limestone Road, and it's going to be the new home of 303 Sports Week. We're going to recap some local, college, and professional stuff. It's time for everybody's favorite part of the day, top 5 plays. Here we go. Stanley, your number 1 play from AI, 76-yard punt return. We got ourselves the quality cam here on the sideline. It's awesome to watch from this angle, to be honest with you. And watch, whoa, going up. He went to 4.12. He left the first there at 4.4. I mean, those ups right there. You can't make this stuff up.
Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com.
And welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to 302 Sports Weekly. Once again, thank you to the Appoquinimink baseball program there, Coach Torres and the fellas, man. They really are having one heck of a season so far.
Yeah, they are. And like we said, 5-0 against top 10 teams. That's impressive number. I mean, no other team other than Dover. Dover's only loss was to Indian River early in the season, but they've been perfect against top 10 teams too. But they're the only teams in the state.
And Nick, we just heard from Jason Winchell, so that means he has been brought up out of the bunker.
Get him out.
And it is time to talk about some Winchell's way too early, baby. So Jay,
promo. We gotta get a promo. Then we'll sponsor it.
We get a promo. So Jay, what are we getting into? What are we diving into here tonight?
All right, so we're going to do 2 topics, but this one we're going to start with baseball. Why not? Appoquinimink was just right on. If the tournament has started today, here's how we would see it. Number 17 CR would be at number 16 St. Mark's.
Wow, St. Mark's.
First round game.
And we'll hold all applause to the end, so we'll talk about it all.
Number 18 Archmere would be at number 15 Delmarva Christian. Number 19 AI DuPont at number 14 Red Lion. A home game there for Red Lion.
Wow.
Number 20 St. George's Tech at number 13 Caravel.
Whoa.
Wow. And then you got number 21 Laurel at number 12 William Penn. Here's an interesting matchup. Number 22 Tower Hill at number 11 Cape Henlopen. Number 23 Brandywine at number 10 DMA. And to wrap it up, number 24 Sussex Academy at number 9 Delmar.
Yeah, 2 teams you don't typically see there. That's awesome.
And then here's your top 8. These will have bye. We just heard from the number 1 team, Appoquinimink.
Yep.
Undefeated.
Number 2 would be Sally's. 3 Newark Charter. 4 Sussex Tech. 5 Milford. 6 Dover. 7 Friends. And here at number 8 in the last first round bye, Concord.
Wow. So there are some surprises along the way there, Nick. And I know Mike, he's on his way to South Carolina, but I know he kind of gave some of his answers, so we'll read those off as we go to some of these questions.
Yeah, so Jay, to start it off here, we just went over some first-round matchups. Which one do you think personally will be the best game looking at those?
I'm going to go CR at St. Mark's, but here's why. We just talked about Appa going 5-0 against top 10 teams. St. Mark's is 0-5 first top 10
boy.
teams this year.
And that's unlike them. I mean,
That is. I mean, they're 10-0 against everyone else,
Yeah.
so they're having a great year. But the 0-5 against top 10, teams concerns me. CR not in the top 10, so does that first round matchup favor the Spartans? But guess what?
The second
then they
round.
would get the number one Appo in the second round. And if you're Appo, do you want to see St. Mark's sitting there possibly at 16?
Yeah, and-
I mean, that's a tough first round game for St. Mark's if the Appo if St. Mark's survives. So.
And Jay, I'll ask you this. I mean, in the past year, St. Mark's, they've been a playoff team. They can do whatever they do in the regular season, but if they get in the playoffs, they
Dover sitting there at 6. Dover could jump right ahead of Sussex Tech, depending on the outcomes of those games. I think of the teams that could either benefit or lose the most, Sussex Tech is one of those teams.
And Mike kind of pointed to Delmar, who's on that first round seed, or the first round bye pendulum, so to speak. And they got three games left. 2 of them are against Sussex Tech and Cape Henlopen, which are going to be difficult games for that team. He said that could be a team that slides a little bit from that 9 seed. However, if they win them, they might, who knows, they might be able to get that
Go
bye.
both ways, yeah,
So we'll see what happens with them.
And then there you have it for, again, Winchell's way too early there for baseball. Again, special thanks to Jay for hopping in that bunker and doing all that work for us. But he's not done yet because we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to dive into the world of lacrosse. He'll be in the bunker for just a commercial break. We'll pull him back up right after this on 302 Sports.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley: cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
And we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Middletown for 302 Sports Weekly. We pulled Jay back up out of the bunker. He wasn't down there very long. And now we're going to look into some boys lacrosse. We're going to dive into that and take a look at some first-round matchups. And if the tournament had started yesterday, this is how it would have shaken out. Number 9, Wilmington Charter would be facing the 8th-seeded Salesian Adams Sales, believe it or not, are down at the 8th seed with their dominance over the past couple of years. Interesting matchup there. Number 10, Caravel would be facing number 7, Tower Hill. Number 11, Smyrna would be facing the 6th seeded Dover. Cesar Rodney would be the 12th seed. They would visit to play Archmere. St. Andrews would get in as a 13th seed. They would face number 4, Tatnall. DMA would get in as a 14th seed and face number 3, Middletown, who's had a very impressive season so far this year. And Mount Pleasant would sneak in at 15 and face number 2, Cape Henlopen. And the number 16 seed would go to Milford. And the number 1 overall seed in boys lacrosse, according to the standings as of yesterday, would be the Sanford Warriors.
Wow,
A lot of new blood going on there in the lacrosse potential playoffs. And now, guys, and of course Nick's going to take over for Mike.
Mike online right now.
He's checking it out.
All his answers.
Absolutely. So looking at the current seedings, we'll start with you, Nick. You go over for Mike here. What's the biggest shock to Mike?
So the biggest shock to Mike here was Cape not being the top seed. He said they've beaten Sally's, Archmere. One of their losses came to the Bullis School, one of the best teams in the country, and they're playing CR tonight, which is another good team. He's a little surprised that Cape didn't get that number 1 seed, Pat.
Jay, how about you?
Mine is Middletown as the number 3 seed. They're better than most people think. They're currently 12-0. And they're a balanced team. Their goaltending and defense is so strong. They would have a tough first round game against DMA. They beat them 11-7 on April 13th, so that could be a great rematch for those two teams. But shout out to Middletown; they're having a great year.
All right. Well, looking at those first round games, which would probably be the most competitive game? Jay, we'll start with you.
I'm gonna go Cesar Rodney, Archmere. These two teams are so talented. This could be one of those 1-goal games. CR's and Archmere play on Friday, so we could see a first-round preview. But I think those two teams. That's a solid first-round matchup.
And then Mike, he's going to go with a game that also would be a rematch here. Smyrna at Dover was a tight 6-4 Senators win earlier in the regular season. Mike's looking to look up at that matchup. Smyrna and Dover should be a good one there.
All right, let's look into some intriguing matchups in that opening round, and Nick will start with what does Mike think?
Yeah, so here with Mike's going with a nice, interesting one here. St. Andrews at Tatnall. They play in the final game of the regular season, and if the seeds were to hold, they'd be playing each other again in just a few days. So you're looking at maybe 2 games playing against each other within a couple of days there. So it should be an interesting one there.
And I'm going to go DMA Middletown. I talked about Middletown's success this year. These two teams met earlier in the year, like I said, at Wesley. It was a great game. I think this is a chance for both teams to prove their doubters wrong. Mm-hmm. I mean, Middletown is 12-0 and not getting much respect throughout the state. DMA's had a solid season. I'm a fan of both these teams, and I would like to see that first-round matchup.
All right, a couple more questions here before we wrap this up. Second round, what would be the best matchups looking in the second round? There's some really great ones out there. Jay, we'll start with you.
Yeah, and obviously you look and people are going, why Sanford number 1? They're played in that tough independent conference with Tatnall, Tower Hill, both in the top 8 seeds. St. Andrews is in there, so I mean they're getting a lot, and they play those teams twice, so they're getting a lot of bonus points, and they're a strong number 1 seed. But then you got the defending champs, the Power, Salesianum, coming to your home field. Yeah. I mean, how do you can you be the team that puts Salesianum out of the state tournament and in front of your home crowd? That electricity at Sanford would be unbelievable.
It'd be great. And to get them in another sport other than basketball would be fantastic to see. And what does Mike think?
Well, just to piggyback off of Jay, I mean, Mike's right with him there for Sally's and Sanford. I mean, how could you not say that one? And when was the last time Sally's was maybe knocked out the second round in lacrosse?
It's been a while.
It might be before we were born.
Yeah, like that, something like that. So, I mean, a lot of potential with that matchup there. I mean, I'm not a big lacrosse guy. I may even drive and watch that game if that were to happen there in the second round. So we'll just have to wait and see.
All right, May 18th, Jay. Season will be ending. What kind of shifts do you see? Anybody rising up the standings?
I see Cedar Rodney. If they can win their last 3 games, they got Cape, Archmer, and Sally's. They could pick up 11 points with those 3 wins, and all of a sudden they could have a first-round home game instead of being on the road at Archmer.
Mike's looking at Tatnall. They got 3 games remaining, all against playoff teams. Look at them. If they can pick up some victories in these next couple, look for them to move up the charts.
And then if we're talking about rising, let's talk about some guys that might be dropping. What teams do you see, Jay?
All right, Claymont folks aren't going to like me, but I'm going to go Archmer.
How dare you?
Archmer finishes with 3 out of their 4 games against state tournament teams. Plus, a lot of their early wins are teams right around that 500 mark. And if they lose some games coming down the stretch here, all of a sudden those 2-point win or 3-point wins turn into 2-point wins, and so they can lose some points there. Sitting at 5, they might drop a little bit. And some of these other teams could finish strong.
Absolutely, and Mike is going to go with the Force, Wilmington Charter. That's where you send your hate mail, Wilmington Charter, at Mike Lang. He has you a tough wrap-up. Again, we talked a little bit about Tatnall, and they have some tough games coming up for Wilmington Charter. They got Tatnall and Middletown before ending the season with Friends. So a tough end to the season for Wilmington Charter. Obviously, if things were to go downhill, they might fall a couple spots.
So there you have it. Winchell's way too early predictions. We talked baseball. We talked lacrosse. Wait next week, and you might have some more. So we'll take a look into that as the playoffs are right around the corner. We'll take a commercial break. Come back. We're heading to the pitch and also the diamond. Soccer and softball coming up after this.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley: cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 homebuyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time homebuyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today.
And welcome back, 302 Sports at the Middletown location. Got ourselves a nice reservation in the back room here. Everything going nice and swell, and not a lot of action light on the fields this week, but we're going to take a quick look at some results from girls soccer. Get it started with number 3 in Division 1, Wilmington Charter 4. They got the victory over number 2 in Division 1, Middletown, 4-0. Big win for the Force there. And then number 1 in D2, Caravel gets the win over number 2 in D2, Archmere, 1-0. And then number 1 D2 Caravel 4, and then number 4 in D1 CR, a little interleague action. Caravel gets the 4-1 win there. So Jay, just talking about those games, which one of those stood out to you, and which one of those would you like to break down for us?
I'm gonna go. Here you go. I'm gonna go Caravel CR, and the reason why, we mentioned that Caravel hadn't given up a goal all year.
Yeah. Oh, it finally happened.
They finally happened, but it was the first goal of the game. So you haven't given up a goal all year. You're playing a ranked team, and they scored a first goal, and you're playing it all, so now all of a sudden that changes the mindset because you haven't been there as a team. You haven't been down before. And how do they respond? They score 4 goals and get a nice victory over a very good CR team. So that Caravel is rolling, and Sydney Kell, I know she gave up a goal for the first time all year, but she made some outstanding saves in that game and almost finished with double-digit saves again. So a fantastic year for Sydney Kell continued. But they finally
the streak ends.
The streak ends.
Yeah.
But they showed their moxie and were able to come back and get the nice victory.
And that Caravel soccer program, I believe, nationally ranked now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I had a coworker tell me that. So props to them.
They're the buzz all around town. So you got coworkers talking about the
exactly,
soccer team.
Absolutely. And just a note, after our rankings came out Monday morning, the top 2 teams in Division 1 met at Wilmington Charter, and the second-ranked Force scored an OT to defeat Padua 2-1. So just wanted to mention that one as well. Looking ahead here, Jay, Caravel will be visiting the number 3 team in D1, Middletown. That was today at 6:30. Not quite sure if we have an update.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything.
It's a big-time matchup.
Another big-time game.
Number 2 in D1, Wilmington Charter, facing Sanford, number 4 team in D2. That's Monday at 4 p.m. And then Middletown backs it up on Tuesday against number 2 in D2, Archmere, 5:15. Next live stream, Friday, May 10th. Number 8 DMA visiting number 6 Indian River, 6 p.m. Our Delaware National Guard game of the week. And Jay, that looks like a really good game.
It's a important game. I think for both these teams, they're starting to struggle a little bit coming down the stretch. Tournament's going to be the seeding's going to be released soon. A quality win by one of them over the other. It's going to help them come seeding wise. It's going to be a real good game, and all those Delaware National Guard games of the week that we've brought you have been close, exciting games. So I expect another one here on the pitch on Friday night.
So let's transition now. Let's get over to the dime and talk a little softball. Last week we saw some really good matchups. A really good one here was the number 3 Appoquinimink getting a 6-5 victory over number 5 Caravel. But Caravel did have a tough one earlier in the week. They went down 10-0 to the number 1 team in the state, Smyrna. That was a final in 6. And after our rankings came out Monday morning, second-ranked DMA Seahawks, they traveled to Smyrna and left with a 7-2 victory. So Smyrna getting a 10-run victory and then losing to DMA. And Jay, Smyrna having themselves an up-and-down week this week, number 1 team in the state.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough week. You got Caravel on the road on Friday, and then you come back and you face number 2 ranked DMA the next Monday at home. The Seahawks are flying high this year. Conte did it again with another home run. We saw her hit a grand slam against Appoquinimink. She does it again against Smyrna. DMA is clicking on all cylinders right now, and that's one team I would not want to be playing as the season comes down. And just a note that the softball softball ends on Monday.
Yep.
So the seedings will come out Monday, and the first round is next Wednesday. So it'll be interesting to see what first round matchups we have in softball.
Mm-hmm. And you talked a little bit about DMA. They're back in action in a tough one on Friday at 3:45. We're talking about some games coming up. Mount Pleasant, again, they get DMA. That's Friday at 3:45. That should be a good one, Jay.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. If you like pitching, that should be an old-fashioned pitcher's duel.
And then to keep going here, number 10, Wilmington Charter with the Force. They travel to take on number 5 at Caravel. Not getting any easier for them. Also, that game Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Newark Charter again at Caravel Saturday at 1:30 p.m. So a double header there for Caravel. And then St. George's travels to number 9 Mount Pleasant Monday, fresh off their game with DMA on Friday. That game's set for 4 p.m. on Monday. So
and I
some great
said
matchups
Monday
coming up.
ends the season.
Yep. So right
so
there.
I mean
that's it.
that game could determine some seeding. Maybe even give St. George's, who might be a bubble team right now, maybe a win over Mount Pleasant could get them in. So that's a important game on Monday. But talk about a doubleheader. Caravel gets a doubleheader on Wilmington Charter, Newark Charter, both very good teams. Newark Charter's coming on strong, fighting for a playoff spot. They're 10-5. Wilmington Charter also 10-5. So these two teams are not an easy task for Caravel.
Absolutely. So we'll take a quick commercial break, 30 seconds. We'll come back. We'll briefly go over some boys baseball and lacrosse. I know we did a little way too early Winchell for them, so we'll did a little bit of that in, and then we'll wrap up the show here on 302 Sports Weekly.
He began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today.
Welcome back into 302 Sports Weekly. We're here to wrap the show up. We're going to talk briefly once again about boys lacrosse and baseball. And we're going to start with the lacrosse here. And Jay, it was a game that we saw on a 302 Sports stream. Hill Academy, a Canadian powerhouse, came down here and really manhandled Salesianum 16-8 in that one. And
you look at the score and you go 16-8. But Sally's came out fire on the first quarter. Actually had a lead after the first quarter. The difference in the game came in the second and third quarter. I think Hill finally got their legs under them. They're a team that travels all the time.
Yeah.
So, you should see their buses. I mean, people were sitting on their buses, their team bus, watching the game.
That's impressive.
I think they finally got their legs underneath them in that second and third quarter. And I think it was a little too much for this Salesianum team. But I thought Sally's, strange as I said, I thought that was the best Sally's has played all year in the games that I've seen them. I've seen them play against Cape. I've seen them play against Appo, where they, demolished Appo. But that was the best I've seen Sally's play against a national ranked team like Hill Academy. So you look at the score, you go, how can there be some positives? If I'm Salesianum, I'm taking some positives out of that game.
Absolutely. And some other scores around the world of lacrosse. Number 3 Middletown had two really tough top 10 matchups this week. They defeated number 9 St. George's 17-5, and then they took care of number 8 Smyrna 10-9. Number 6 Archmere got themselves a tough win, 15-12 over Appoquinimink. And looking ahead, there's some great games this week, Nick.
Yeah, you said it. Number 7 CR travels to take on the top-ranked Cape Henlopen. That game is tonight at 7 p.m.
and the CR doesn't want me to read out the score, so it was just not their night.
We're going to move on.
It's not their night down there against Cape Henlopen.
Move on right into number 6 Archmere and number 7 CR. They'll have a chance to rebound Friday at 7 p.m. as they take on Archmere. Then number 5 Tatnall and number 6 Archmere will be Tuesday 3:45, and then CR and Sally's Tuesday at the 76ers Fieldhouse. That game's set for 4:30 p.m. That should be a really good one, Jay.
Yeah, that's going to be a real good one. Can CR, like you said, CR lost tonight to Cape, but they got Archmere and Sally's a chance to pick up 2 impressive wins going into the state tournament. So, coming up at the 76ers Fieldhouse and play could be exciting for that Cesar Rodney team.
Absolutely. Really briefly with baseball here, Jay, obviously we talked to Appoquinimink. We did some Winchell way too early. What's one thing here? What's your final thought wrapping up boys baseball here upcoming week?
Yeah, there's some good games coming up, especially next week. Sussex Tech is visiting Salesianum. Archmer's at Sally's tomorrow, so Sally's is like I said, they finished with a bunch of home games against ranked opponents. That's going to be tough. Appo's got DMA tomorrow, so a lot of tough matchups left to come. Like I said, these seedings are important. You can see how some of those seedings, a win here and a win there, could change some of those seedings and get some of those teams away from other teams. So it's going to be interesting this last week of the season.
Absolutely. So we're going to take another quick commercial break. We'll come back, wrapping the show up right here on 302 Sports Weekly. All right.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique image you envision, we create.
Welcome back into 302 Sports Weekly. It's time to wrap the show up. And Nick, we're going to travel to the campus of Wilmington University, talk a little softball and baseball. First off, we got to congratulate the softball team, number 2 seeded Wilmington University. They defeated the number 1 seed Georgian Court 5-4 in 9 innings to capture their first CACC tournament championship. As a result, the Wilmington softball program will be hosting an NCAA Division II East 2 regional tournament game for the first time in program history. The Wildcats have earned the number 3 seed in the region and will be hosting the number 6 seed Adelphi in Newcastle, Delaware at Asbury Field, 11 a.m. start tomorrow.
Yeah, get out there.
Let's get out there.
Pat, what was interesting about that day? They had to beat Georgia in court twice.
Yes.
And they won 3 times on that Saturday. That's impressive stuff.
3 in a row.
Fired up. I'm wearing my hat when I get
I love it. Go Wildcats. Let's see how they ended up, Nick.
Absolutely. And then baseball, they are the number 2 seed. So game 1 will be between Wilmington, and they'll take on the number 4 seed Jefferson. That game Thursday, 11 a.m. at Post University in Connecticut. So live feed is available. The link is on our website as well as Wilmington University's website, so you got to check that out. So good luck to the Wilmington baseball program as they get the number 2 seed. They're also in action tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. So let's go to it. Our top 5 plays, or our top plays of the week. Here we go, starting with our top plays of the week. Here we go. That's just for Nick Halliday. I had it for him. Here we go. Alexis Moore starting us off with a triple down the line for Smyrna. And it's always a good time when we get to do a game under the lights at Caravelle. And look at that. Pokes it over the first baseman's head, and that one's going to get to the wall, and she can scoot around second base. The relay is coming, and they paused a little too much, and she's in there at third base with the 3-bagger. Impressive performance.
Now check out this one. You alluded or saw it a little bit earlier. We saved one for you. We couldn't hold 2, so we had to show you this one a little bit earlier, but here you're going to see it again. Matt Cinco takes this one deep, back, deep, left, and that's way out of Frawley. I hit the Delaware Park. I think you win a $50 voucher to the slots. That's an unbelievable shot there, Matt Cinco.
I'll tell you what, Nick, you gave us a little backs like Chris Berman. I mean, you got to appreciate that. You got to. I mean, that thing was. I didn't think it was going out. And then I'm like, holy crap, that was a home run. Here you go. Number 3, Madison Shaw, the rare 9-3 putout. Yes, you heard that right. If you know the scoring in softball, shallow right field on the grounder, and they get her at first base. That's defensive positioning, well placed there by the coach.
Yeah, Mike Lang called it a single.
Spoke too soon, Mike. Now check out this. You saw this one earlier too. This one I had to check the screen twice, rewind to make sure I saw it right. Joey setting behind the plate here. Gonna take this one and just gun from his knees all the way to second and pick off the runner. What a play. Salesianum at a big point in the game with the go-ahead run at the plate up 4-2.
That might have been a game-saving play there. And this right here was a game-changing play. The number 1 play, Alex Hinton, this diving catch. We kept it out of the highlight for this exact reason. Bases loaded, 1 out, second, diving effort, and the stab, presence of mind to get 2. Alex, why not? Beat the chest, young man. Beat your chest. Runs in the family over there. I'll tell you what. Great plays happen with the Hintons.
What a play, and what a game it was. Sally's obviously got the victory. They beat St. Mark's twice in these last couple weeks, so they got some momentum. heading in. So again, we said the 20th, I believe, those seeds will be released for
Yeah,
baseball.
the 20th. Like I said, check our social media page. Maybe we'll do a show that night, baseball special or something. And
Yeah, keep an eye out for it.
Try and get the baseball playoffs under the way.
All right, let's do it. Let's wrap it up. Our final thought of the evening. Nick, I'll start with you, man.
Well, Pat, I think we have a similar final thought. So why don't we'll go to Jay first.
All right, here you go.
Well, first of all, congratulations, Julia Lang, on graduating.
Absolutely.
University of South Carolina.
Nice job.
Mike's a proud papa. He's real excited, and congratulations. Mike always complained that she cost him a lot of money, but she gets it done. Congratulations, Julia Lang.
Absolutely. Nick, you got one?
Pat, I don't want to take away from you, but I'm sure you're going to talk about it a little bit. Just want to say a special shout out, obviously, to Troy Haynes and Fight Like 4. Obviously, everyone can head over to that GoFundMe page, obviously for a great cause, and a shout out and prayers up for him and his family.
Absolutely. Shout out to them, exactly. And Troy, you keep fighting, man. We're all here supportive of you here at 302 Sports, so keep your head high and battle just like you do on the field, man. Keep it up. You are in our prayers, that is for sure. And as for my final thought, keep an eye out on the playoff seedings. Playoffs are coming around the corner. It's finishing up the 2018-19 season as far as the school year is concerned. It's always a good time of the year to see what happens in the playoffs and stuff unfolds, and we're going to get our last round of state champions crowned here within the month. So keep an eye out for that and look forward to seeing it. So there we do. We'll wrap it up here. Thanks once again to Buffalo Wild Wings, the Middletown location, for allowing us to come in here and do the show. Thanks to Appoquinimink baseball program, Coach Torres and the guys coming on here and chatting with us, man. And they've had a great year. And for Jason Winchell, Nick Alessandrini, Nick Halliday, and Pops, he's over there always the bodyguard of 302 Sports. I've been Pat Garianis. We will not see you next week. We're going to be doing some softball, I believe, first round matchups. So no show next week. So keep an eye on the website and social medias for the live streams coming up. And we'll see you when we see you. Have a good one.
Uzi. But right now, we're going to head right into your favorite part of the week, top plays on the special teams end. As you're going to see Steven Williams. He's going to return this kick, and another great angle here you see. He'll catch it off the scoop, and he's taken off right down the sideline. Nobody can catch him, makes two men miss. Kicker can't make the tackle, and he is gone. Steven Williams, kickoff return. He takes it all the way. Friends get the win.
So it's the quality cam here on the sideline. It's awesome to watch from this angle, to be honest with you. And watch him. Whoa! Going up. He went to floor 12. He left the person there at floor 4.
Miss. Crash back out. There it is, off the glass, the game winner. Unbelievable shot.
Crash the glass.
Late on the shot.
You might have seen this one before. Bang! Throws it right down the lane. Look at that quick elevation. Everyone got out of the way, Jay. They wanted no piece of it. And then here's a different angle. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wow, did he get off?